Tilray reached a quarterly sales record in fiscal Q4 and strengthened its market share lead in Canada. Cannabis and alcohol profit margins were 61% and 51% respectively, while distribution margins rose to 9%. But don't overreact, folks. In fiscal 2023, Tilray is still losing thus far $1.4 billion and had negative $12.9 million in free cash flow. However, technically, with price at all-time lows, price has put in a short-term bottom. Before we continue with the analysis, let's look at this article. It is coming from The Motley Fool, and it is titled, "Could Tilray Stock Help You Become a Millionaire?" So it's hard to imagine Canadian marijuana company Tilray, with its under $3 per share price, making anyone comfortably rich. Tilray might be one of the sleepers, though. Company has historically operated in one of the most challenging sectors, but it's undergoing somewhat of a pivot. Perhaps this new look will spur Tilray's shares higher, helping to vault investors into millionaire rank status. I don't know about all that. The Canadian company's stock landed on the U.S. side of the border with the Nasdaq listing in 2018. That was the same year that the government kicked off an inaugural phase of marijuana legalization. In the U.S., states like Washington, Massachusetts, and California also pulled the trigger on recreational consumption and sales. However, the rollout of the Canadian retail pot market was clunky at best, to say the least, with licensing delays being particularly acute in key provinces in Canada. Compounding that, illegal products provided stiff competition for the licensed stuff, and oversupply became a lasting problem in the legitimate weed world. Now, this is where the pivot comes for Tilray. It's getting in the craft beer business. It did purchase 8 U.S. brewers from Anheuser-Busch and Bev in an all-cash deal. They do have some key brands, one of them being Shock Top. I'm a little leery, right? Because in recent years, we've seen the younger generations move away from beers to other type of beverages. Monster being one, so the caffeinated drinks, et cetera, et cetera. However, according to the Brewers Association, a trade organization uniting in craft beer markets, U.S. volume sales of their products were only marginally higher in 2022 than in 2021. There's a research group out there recently forecast, however, that the global market for craft beer will rise from slightly over $117 billion in 2022 to nearly $222 billion by 2028. But even if that speedy growth occurs, Tilray hasn't proven that it can be a player in the U.S., one of the largest markets in the world for everything. Company as a whole hasn't been performing impressively. Fiscal 2023 net revenue actually sagged from the previous year, landing at $627 million from $628 million. Robust growth in its expanding beverages unit couldn't save the day, not least because the take for the foundational cannabis operation fell 8% to $220 million. Company keeps spending money on assets, which at the moment only helps to lengthen its streak of net losses. If Tilray isn't making millions for itself, I'm doubtful it's going to make you a millionaire anytime soon. So again, if we go to the monthly chart, this is not the makings of making someone $1 million. Unless the stock at current prices gets back to the all-time high at $300. And I don't see that happen anytime soon. I don't even see it taking out this huge spike at $67. However, again, price has put in a short-term bottom. But what we really need to see is closes above the $2.80 level. Really above the $3 level, as that was the most recent highs. That also is a round hole psychological number. It would also mean that you have the start of an uptrend. What do I mean by that? So if we see a weekly candle that's going to close above $3 and say above the most recent pivot high, well, then you just put in a reversal. Down, up, lower high, higher low. And that would be a reversal. A break of this would put this in an uptrend. And on the daily chart, it would mean decisive closes above the 200-day moving average, which is the line in the sand when it comes to secular bull and bear markets. All right, so in the daily chart, what I looked at was this pivot high at $3. That would be the next level of resistance, as that was the next start of the origin of the leg down. So if price was to take out this level, then for me this would confirm the short-term bottom as a medium to longer term bottom. But the moral of this video is, don't expect Tilray to make you a millionaire anytime soon. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Please like the video.